Hi, welcome to Math Beast Tutoring, now on YouTube. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Today is going to be a little bit different. As you can see, there's no whiteboard behind me because I am at home. Yep, I am at home, self-quarantining or whatever you call that. Everything's closed and there's nothing we can do about it. That's okay. Today I wanted to do a little bit of a different video. I wanted to talk about some of my favorite manipulatives that I like to use when teaching math. So we'll do probably two videos. The first video I want to talk about is for our younger students, grades like pre-kindergarten up to about 3rd or 4th grade. These manipulatives are really handy that I like to use to really help solidify and provide tangible access to a lot of the mathematical concepts that are taught in grades kind of pre-K through 4th. Now the first thing I want to talk about are my counters. These, as you can see, I got these on Amazon. They're just little animals and I have tons of them. They came in about a package of 144. These little counters are helpful for addition, subtraction, as you see in one hand. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 6 little animals in one hand. What happens if I take 2 away? Now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. You can also use large amounts of animals, split them into groups. If I have 2, 4, 6, 8 animals. 8 animals, can you split them into 2 equal groups? Well, yes, then I'll have 4 and 4. Makes sense? Similar if I have 4 in one hand and 2 in the other. What happens if I put them all together? And you can count. You can draw things on a piece of paper, have your students separate into equal groups, 2, 3, 4, add them all up, subtract them, divide them out into, say you're sharing them with 3 or 4 people, divide your 4 animals with 4 people. Well, then everybody is going to get 1. Okay, so those are the counters. As you can see, they don't have to be animals. They don't have to be all different colors. Most important when you're thinking about getting counters is that they are lots of things, similar size and similar shape. You could even do that with, I've also got some cardboard counters here. They are just red on one side, white on another. They're just little cardboard pieces, and I use these a lot as well. Next thing I want to talk about is my little 10 frame. So I have this. It's just a cardboard thing, and my red and white little counter chips go with this. This helps with counting up to 10 or 5. This is for really, really young students that are 3 years old up to even 6 years old in the 4th grade that are practicing counting to 10 and practicing the 10 partners. You don't have to go this elaborate. You can draw 10 squares on a sheet of paper or on a whiteboard and use X's and O's, etc. But these guys, you ask your student, put 3 chips on the counter, and then they can put 1, 2, 3 chips. Practicing colors as well, you can put 3 here and say, how many more do I need to get to 5, which is just the 1 row, and they can count out the empty spaces. Or you can say, I have 4 chips. How many more do I need to get to 10? Well, of course, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is needed to get to 10. So to really help with the fluidity of numbers and to help students visualize and also get their hands in there. Math is a very visual, but it's also a very kind of kinetic, tactical type of concept that is really helpful for students to be able to lay things out on the table, count things out for a really good visual 3D representation of mathematics. Another thing, this is for students that are into speed. Set the fidget spinner on the table, spin it. Ask as many questions as you want and they answer before the fidget spinner stops. This also is helpful for students to just hold to keep focus. I don't use this as often because sometimes it can create some speed panic anxiety with certain students, but for the students that are really wanting to get fast, this is great. This particular one, I think I was actually a gift from one of my husband's job conferences that he brought back, so I did not pay for this one, but I'm pretty sure this is like $1.50 or $4 or something. I don't even know. There's the simple ones, there's elaborate. This one, I timed it. If you give it a really good spin, it'll spin for about a minute. A minute, 8 seconds to be exact, if you give it a nice good spin. So there's that. My next thing that I love is dice. Now I have big dice. Big ones here. I have this one. It goes from 0 to 9. This is a great one. And then there's the standard, just looks like a regular dice that goes from 1 to 6, and then one with numbers as well. I like to use the ones that have numbers on them because it also helps with number recognition. So you roll a 6. Well, that is the number 6, 5, etc. It helps with the written numeral recognition. And then of course, I have a one that goes a little bit higher. This one goes up to 12. I like this one for kind of getting into 2nd grade. Rolling this dice is very helpful for students. You can do addition, not really subtraction, because then you kind of have to organize and make sure the greater one falls in one spot and then into the other. But for addition and multiplication, rolling the dice is excellent. These dice actually came in a pack that had plus, minus, divide by, equals, and then even this greater than and less than symbol. So this is really fun for students. Get this one and say, you got the 1 through 6, roll them all 3, and whatever lands on, you have to perform the operation that has landed on the dice. Getting up into older students, mine actually came with some fraction ones. So these are great for students that are working on adding and subtracting fractions. Of course, these ones only have the 1, but they are super helpful for when students are learning fractions. The last thing that I like to have for younger students is a bouncy ball. Students that are working on their motor skills and really kind of drilling with our addition, subtraction, ask them a question, toss them the ball, they catch it, answer the question, and then of course throw it back to you and they can ask you any question that you want. It really helps to break up the monotony of really trying to drill these basic facts, which is what students, grades 3 up to grades 3 or even 4 are working on those kinds of things. This kind of helps to break up the monotony of 4 plus 4, 7 plus 3, 8 plus 9. This can be a great helpful. You can roll it if you're inside, bounce it if you're in a safe place. Watch out for your lamps. I've broken lamps, so just be careful with the ball. Okay, and then so 4 up to about grades 3, that's it. Of course, kids love markers, dry erase markers, little whiteboards. If you are working with your student, I always recommend take the problems off of the paper, get the pencil out of there, go to the whiteboard, several different color markers, little thin ones for small boards, and of course thicker ones for bigger ones. I don't know what it is. All kids love markers. They love whiteboards. And this is a great tool to get kids to get through their work, get through their problems that they're working on. All right. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time for another video where I talk about some of the tools I like to use for older students. We'll go grades 4 or 5 up to about 7 or 8. Thank you so much for watching and for listening. Remember to like, share, subscribe, etc. I will see you next time. In the meantime, stay safe, stay inside, I guess. Get your exercise, get your sleep, don't eat too much. Remember, you're probably not hungry, you're just bored. And use this extra time to learn a new skill, take time with your family, and make the best of it. See ya.